Stripe is an online payment processing platform that allows businesses to receive payments globally. With Document Studio, you can automatically send invoices to customers and collect payments with Stripe whenever you receive a new order on Google Forms. Let's get started. We are organizing a music concert, and this is the Google form which people can fill to buy tickets. We have 4 types of seats available. Each of these has a different price. We have some promo codes available as well, which can be specified here to avail a discount. Moreover, people can choose to receive a merchandise kit for the concert as well for an additional price. Now, whenever a new Google form response is received, a Stripe invoice should be generated and sent to the customer via email so that they can make the payment. Let's fill this form. The form has been submitted. I'll switch to my Gmail now. Here is the email, and as you can see, it contains the invoice for the total transaction amount, including the ticket prices and the merch price. The discount and tax have been applied as well. This invoice is hosted on Stripe, and the payment can be securely made by clicking this button. This entire process of generating an invoice after we receive an order has been automated with the help of Document Studio. Now let's see how it can be done. If you do not have the add-on installed already, you can install it by visiting this link. You can find this link in the video description below. This is the Google form that we have designed to receive orders for the event tickets. Let's open the Google Sheet linked to this form. This is the sheet. A new row will be added here whenever someone fills the Google form. We also have a sheet named Data, which is like an internal price list containing the respective prices for the different types of seats, the discount codes, along with their corresponding discount percentage, and the merchandise kit price. Now here we will add a couple of columns to this sheet that will calculate the ticket prices and the discount. First, let's pull the ticket price from the data sheet by using the VLOOKUP function. So for this function, our search key or the preferred seat is in column B. Then we'll visually select the range from the data sheet. The prices are in the second column, so we'll put 2 as the index. And since the price list is not sorted, we'll enter false as the fourth parameter. Let's check the formula. This formula works, but the only problem is that the formula is only available in the current row. If someone submits a new Google form response, the ticket price will not be added automatically as the formula will not be available in the new row. To apply this formula in all the rows, we'll use an array function. Now instead of applying it in the second row, let's apply it in the column header. We'll add a curly brace here, which marks the beginning of the array. The first element of the array will become the title of the column. Let's write the VLOOKUP function now. We are getting this error here as the seating preference column is empty. So, we'll add a check to only perform VLOOKUPs when the seat column has a value. Let's fill a seat type in the next row. And you can see that the price is correctly fetched and there are no errors in the column anymore. Next, we'll add the formula to calculate the discount based on the promo code filled in the form. We'll use the VLOOKUP function here in the same manner as we did for the ticket prices. As we already know, we have 4 promo codes. We'll also wrap this inside the if error function, as there's a possibility that someone fills in an invalid discount code in the form. Now we'll write another formula to calculate the final ticket price after applying the discount. This is done. Now let's check whether these formulas are working by entering some data. And as you can see, all the VLOOKUP functions work perfectly and the final ticket price has been calculated after applying the discount. Let's apply the formula for the merchandise kit now. If the respondent selects yes for the merchandise field, we'll pull the price of the concert merch kit here from the data sheet. Let's add one last thing. As we see here in the data sheet, there are limited tickets available for each type of seat. So let's specify a function which will check whether there are tickets left after each order is received. You can find the link to this Google Sheet in the video description below in case you want to refer to any of these formulas. Our spreadsheet is now ready. For the next step, let's launch Document Studio and set up a workflow to integrate Stripe with this sheet. Create a new workflow and give this workflow a descriptive name. This is the Google Sheet linked to the form where all the responses received will be stored. Let's continue. Now here the workflow will process all the new Google Form responses by default. However, if you want to process only specific responses that match certain criteria, then select the Process Specific Form Responses option. For this workflow, a response should be processed only if there are seats available for the ordered quantity. So let's choose Seats Available from this drop-down, which is a list of all the column headers in the sheet, and specify the condition. Document Studio is a versatile Google add-on that can help you integrate Google Forms with popular applications like WhatsApp, PayPal, Slack, Airtable, and the list keeps growing. In this tutorial, we are looking to send payment invoices on receiving Google Form responses, so let's select the service Accept Payments from this list. Choose Stripe from this list of available payment providers. Now to link our Stripe account, we will first have to generate a Stripe API key in our account. Let's switch to the Stripe dashboard. Click on Developers. And then go to the API Keys tab. Click the Create Restricted Key button. Give your API key a descriptive name. And from this list of permissions, turn on the Write permissions for customers, invoices, and tax rates scope. Click the Create button now to generate your Stripe key. I'll quickly verify my account and copy the key generated. Let's go back to the workflow. Paste the Stripe key you just copied in this field and your Stripe account has been linked successfully. In this section, we'll add the billing details of the customers and these fields can directly be mapped from the corresponding question in the Google form. Here we can also add a memo to our invoice. Now this is the most important section of our Stripe invoice. We'll specify the name of the items, their quantity, and price of each item. For our example, each invoice will have the ticket as the first line item. The second item is concert merch, and this is optional. The second line item will show in the invoice only if the merch price field in the sheet has a value, else it will be omitted. The invoice due date is the number of days from when the invoice is created until it is due. Let's choose due upon receipt. Next, we'll provide the 3-letter currency code of our invoice and a tax rate. We can also add the terms and conditions for the transaction in the text field here. Let's move to the next step. Now to recap, we have added a task to generate payment invoices through Stripe whenever a new response is received in the Google form. Stripe will automatically send the invoice to the customer on their email address, and it will have a link where they can directly pay the invoice. Let's continue. Now this workflow should run each time a new response is submitted, so I'll check the option Run on Form Submit. Now for the last step, you can either save the workflow here or run it immediately. If you choose Save, the workflow will run for all new responses that are received from now onwards. However, if you want to send invoices for responses that have been received before setting up the workflow, choose Save and Run. Let's save it for now. The workflow has been saved successfully. Now let's create another workflow, this time for sending an email in case there are no tickets available for the seat type chosen by the form respondent. In this section, we have to specify the condition where there are no seats available for a particular ticket order. So let's choose seats available from this list, and instead of entering yes like we did in the previous workflow, we'll type in no. From this range of services, select Send Email. I'll choose Gmail as the service provider. Specify the sender's name and the email address through which the mail should go. This is the recipients section where you can specify multiple email addresses in the to CC and BCC fields. But since we asked for the respondent's email address in the form itself, we can simply select email address from this list. You can also specify a reply to email address here. Now let's frame the message template. We have all the column headers in the Google Sheet as dynamic markers here, which can be used to frame the email subject line and the message body. The message body looks good. Let's continue. I'll save this workflow. Now both the workflows have been set up successfully. Let's close Document Studio and go back to our Google form. Now let's fill this form with some data to check whether the invoices are being generated and shared with the customer. The form has been submitted. Let's switch to Gmail now. Here is the mail received, and this is the Stripe invoice. As you can see, the discounts and taxes have all been applied perfectly, and the payment can be easily made. So this was a quick tutorial on how to create invoices with Stripe automatically whenever a new Google form response is received. You can also send PayPal invoices to your customers from Google Sheets and Google Forms. We'll put the tutorial link in the video description. And do not forget to check out our website digitalinspiration.com for more such add-ons for Google Sheets and Google Forms.